Alright, here we are in San Diego to talk to Bertha. If I remember correctly, she was part of a Dust Bowl family who made their way west to the West Coast in search of a better life and money after basically their farm got fucked over. Very grapes of wrath. Let's have a chat with her. Where the four winds dwell.
You looking for jobs around here too? I've been looking for work so long it's all I see when I dream now. So, I'll make sure to remind myself what brought me here and what I left behind. I'll tell you about it if you sit with me for a while.
Sounds good.
Anyway, these days my fears seem awful familiar. Can you tell me something scary that I haven't already lived?
I'm gonna hear a lot of her stuff already, so I might as well indulge her. Let's see. I have a scary story that I haven't said it. The bird, which for good or ill could speak only the truth. That's kind of scary. Might not be what she wants, though.
That false hope doesn't do it for me these days.
Oh, okay.
What's fortune look like? Well, back home the big farmers kept hogs. Raised alfalfa, had irrigation. Being rich meant having enough that the dry spells didn't kill you. Anyway, I'm looking for a good laugh. Do you know any funny stories?
I mean, I might. Is there any funny stories that I haven't told yet? Raised by cats. Oh. Oh. Art by Jack. Actually, I can't remember if any of these are Paul Bunyan. I do want to get this upgraded though, so the Liang family saga.
Did you get that tearjerker out of a magazine? Home is a place from when I was a child. And the snow was heavy in the winter, and the crops came up, and the soil stayed on the ground.
Oh.
Home's not there anymore.
Oh.
Anyway, know any good hopeful stories to share? I could sure use one.
Hopeful stories. I got plenty of those. The lighthouse lamp, which would only burn in the presence of true love. That's hopeful.
That's a good one. I'll try to remember it when I'm out in the fields. Love. It can be a luxury. When things get bad, everyone's working so hard just to eat. There's no time to even get to know anyone. I've had a hard day.
Hopeful story. Thunderbird people who fly when they fall from heights.
You expect me to take that seriously? Freedom. People could have a good life if there weren't so many people that profit on need. The banks, the mortgages. It's having a debt that kills you.
It's true.
In the fields, we trade campfire versions of exciting books and picture shows.
Have any exciting stories like that? I might. I just might if I can figure out which one of these I haven't said yet. The horror story. The girl who used trains to run a statewide criminal network.
I enjoyed that. You tell those exciting stories very well. The future? Now this is how I feel about the future these days. You know how sometimes you look out in the horizon, you see the dust clouds shaping up out there, this curved brown wall?
I've never seen it personally, but I have heard the horror stories.
You hope it'll blow itself out before it gets to you. But it probably won't. After we'd been here a while, my husband wanted to go back to Oklahoma. But I knew there was nothing for us there anymore. I said I wasn't going back there to starve to death. So he took the girls and went without me.
Just ditched you? Wow, what a prick.
And now, I'm going my own way. Down the road this way, actually, to the next job. On and on and on. What about you? Where are you going? What are you leaving behind?
I leave behind many a story. Alright. Bertha's Displacement. The name of... Bertha's Displacement is the name of her whole path. What's her... Where is she on here? Oh, here she is. Crying Like the Wind is the title of her next chapter. Let's see. A story about the Thunderbirds swooping and darting around the high places. And this one, you know, it's the story of the Thunderbird people. Yep. So let's see. Which ones did I tell? I told the Lighthouse Lovers. Switch that out for the Witcher Supplicant. No, we'll switch that out for the circus composed entirely of former Wall Street brokers, because that's kind of funny. We'll do the Burb, for the rich kid who hired 100 poor workers to dance a show for him. From there, we have... Didn't do any of these. I did do the Liang family. So the trickster who lures humans with magic stones. Next. And I did... another one, right? Others. Phyllis. Another one, but I can't remember which one it was. Bone Sharks. Oh, the Criminal Empire. Travelers cursed to travel across America for 100 years. And... should be all of them, right? Alright. Well, now she went back that way towards Arizona, so... would it be better to go to Probably might be better to take this back to El Paso. Oops, where was it? Oh, there it was. El Paso. Gives you another story anyway, too. Whoa. The story about Chinatown's silent ghosts from the quake of '06 is the story of the Liang family saga. Both bits changed. There we go. Alright, let's try to get... Let's see if we can get someone to pick us up. I don't want to walk all that way. Wow, people are dicks in El Paso, apparently. Because every car that's come out of El Paso has just skipped me over. Oh well, guess we're walking. And we arrive at Phoenix, Arizona. So first, let's go talk to... see how this story evolved over here. Or which story evolved, I should say. Grab that. Story about the blessed bird of foresight, which travelers pay to change their future. It's a story of the bird which, for good or ill, could speak only the truth, but heavily embellished. Alright. Is that one fully awoken then? Yes, it is. Sweet. Alright. Chapter 2. Chapter 2, Crying Like the Wind.
I'm from a long line of people that moved on. My grandparents came from Germany because they had to. My husband's parents came west to Ohio, then Missouri, then Oklahoma. But my husband didn't have the courage for it in the end. He'd rather drink and die than fight and live. Anyway, I'm looking for a good laugh.
Have any funny stories? I do, but I'm not gonna tell you. Because I want to tell you about the WP worker who gave his pay to orphans. Because I need to upgrade that one.
Did you get that tearjerker out of a magazine?
Maybe.
Luck. Well, my son was born dead. No reason to that. We don't get to pick what happens to us. Been so long since I last chuckled, I'm not sure my mouth can do it anymore.
You want another story that makes you laugh? Well, unfortunately for you, I'm instead going to tell you a story about the loan sharks who sawed a man's debtor's hand off with his own saw.
You expect me to take that serious? Preachers say you can choose to steal or not, choose to work hard or be lazy. But you steal if you're too hungry not to. And that's not a choice you made.
Very true.
Been so long since I last chuckled, I'm not sure my mouth can do it anymore. Can you tell me a story that'll make me laugh?
I could maybe do that, but I think instead I'm gonna, if I can find one. I haven't told yet. The trickster who lures humans with magic stones. No, I think that's kind of humorous. We'll save that just in case. Something else. But I will tell you the story of... Oh, what I pick? Possessed Go, the brother.
Huh. And that's the saddest one you got? Sadness. Back in Oklahoma, sadness smothered us. When it got too hot, we'd wet down towels and we'd lay them over the girls and ourselves at night. But pretty soon they'd get just as hot as everything else. There's grief like that. It's everywhere. And you can't damp it down for long. I've had a hard day.
Any hopeful stories? Instead, I will tell you the story about the trickster who lures humans with magic stones.
Oh, come on. That didn't really happen. Home. Well, my father moved to Oklahoma to prove his claim of land. And what did he find? A big, flat piece of grass with the wind blowing over it. And all the land around was cattle range. And the cattle would break down his fences and eat his crops.
That's unfortunate.
But he kept building new fences and fighting. And finally, the ranchers moved on. Anyway, I'm looking for a good laugh. Do you know any funny stories?
Funny stories? Maybe. I'm gonna tell you instead. Any stories I haven't said yet. The Witch in the Bayou who transforms men to alligators for a song.
Are you trying to spook change? Well, look at it this way. Even if my children live, going back to Oklahoma, how are they supposed to grow up? 2 little girls with no woman to tell them how to manage.
That would... A balanced family is important when it can be managed.
They'll come out wild like my husband's sister Bunny, running around in lipstick and overalls at the same time.
Hey now, nothing wrong with that. She can do what she wants.
And here's the sun. I've got to get going. I'm following the work, of course, because I have to. Because I can't give up.
I mean, at this trajectory, it's gonna keep it's leading you east still, unless you're gonna go west again.
If you're going up the road this way, you'll find me there. Still doing what my husband couldn't.
I mean, you're slowly making your way east and north towards Oklahoma, so not like. I mean, you're still you are kind of heading back that way unintentionally, game. Story about the magic stones which lured the Sky Woman's human children to dance across the earth. It's a story about the trickster who lures humans with magic stones. Excellent. Whoops. Need to go north up towards the border of Arizona, so let's grab that. North is this way. Through the rocky things. Well, the mountains, but they're up the Rocky Mountains. Shiprock. Was this where Ray was, or was this someone else? Might have been Dahlia. I think it was Dahlia, actually. I think this is where I first met her. She went all over the place. Alright. Story evolution. A story about the WPA worker who starved to death so that his hungry children could eat. It's the story of the WPA worker who gave his pay to orphans. Aw. There we go. Fully woken up. Alright, Birdo, what you got for me now?
How have you been doing? I've been getting by. Barely, but getting by.
Oh man, it's already halfway open.
Lately, I've been thinking a lot about my girls. My husband took them back to Oklahoma, where there's nothing left but death.
I hope they're alright, for your sake.
Been so long since I last chuckled, I'm not sure my mouth...
A funny story. How about, instead of a funny story, I tell you the story of the musician who began, actually, past, future. Let's do something about the future. Let's do the traveler's curse to travel across America for 100 years.
Huh. That hope doesn't ring true to me. The future. Do I look like I'm gonna be here in a few years' time?
Honestly, you seem like you're doing fine.
Every year it gets harder picking, and someday I won't be good for it at all. I'll have to find something else.
I mean, we're almost to where the New Deal's happening. At least for you. For a couple other people, it's way past that.
But I will, because I have to. Anyway, I'm looking for a good laugh. Do you know any funny stories?
Funny stories, maybe. Joy. Let's do some joy. I'll tell you about this, the tiger cub destined to lead circus animals out of captivity.
Joy. Well, my husband's mother, Vivia, was a cuss. She told me once, it feels like a pretty good vengeance just being alive still when the world wants you dead.
I can get that.
Been so long since I last...
And you just want funny stories, right? This time around. Fair enough, but faith and trust. I'll tell you the story. The virtuoso talent came from a deal with the devil. Damn it.
Give me a moment just to catch my breath. Trust. The only thing I can rely on is me. I'm not gonna stop trying to live before I die. Some people give up, but they're dud seed. I've had a
Hopeful story as well. I might as well give her some hopeful stories if I can. There's ones I haven't told yet. Story of the powerful king of bulls. No. I'll tell the story about the army major who's... No, that's funny. The son. The hoary raven who got wise by eating the eyes of wise men. I don't think that's hopeful, but...
If you're trying to make me laugh at my past, well, my son that was born dead, I buried back by our old house in Okama. And then there were the two girls that lived long enough to come out here before my husband took them back. That's my past. Anyway...
Let's see if I can find her an actual good hopeful story. I'm going to tell her a story about the girls who could talk to the dead.
Thank you for sharing that one. I feel a little better now. I loved my husband up to when he took my girls back home. He said he'd rather lie down and die on Oklahoma soil than be spat on here.
Well, that's kind of selfish.
Well, I can't love someone that gives up. Man or woman. California isn't what they told us. It gets cold here at night, same as anywhere. And the people here weren't happy to see us coming.
Oh, I bet. Like, there was millions of y'all coming west.
We spend all day hungry while we're picking lettuce and apricots. Abundance all around. But we don't dare touch it. And there's no more west to go. I'm headed this way to the next job. You say hello if we cross paths again, alright?
Alright. Little by little. Little by little. What's her next chapter called? Where the wind don't blow so strange. Yeah, I think that sounds like a finale chapter. So let's see. The tiger cub for... So... A meadow of infinite butterflies. The virtuoso for... Chinese chef who cooked world-famous cuisine. 2 girls for... A cart horse. Sure. A WPA worker for... The ring which grants wishes. Actually, no. The witch who drinks the blood of travelers in New Orleans. I want that one to get fully done. You, The siren who trapped artists in a dying backwater town. The loan shark for... Loan shark for the devil who'd sell you the world for the price of a kiss. The Thunderbirds for... Pecos Bill. Oh, that's always a good one. Magic stones for the storm generated by a gigantic bird. Got a bunch of these I gotta do. Oh my god, there's so many of them. Dust monster that sucks the moisture out of living things. We'll do that one because that kind of ties into her little bit of life. Chickens. Blessed by the ghost of his dead brother for farmer who drowned his son in the grain silo. Ori Raven for astronomer. Army major. Did I do that one? I don't think I did that one. Alright, that should work. There she is. Very close by, but also very far away. I know that. No, she's not. There's a bridge crossing over there. Never mind. Alright, we're set. We are set. I was like, I noticed something, actually. I should have double-checked this. I'm dumb for not thinking about this, but I should put in another one of these so that they're all ones that I haven't done yet. I have a lot of those. So let's do the ghosts who punish the spirituals for their hubris. If there's any that have multiples that I haven't done yet. So let's do that. And French spy. I assume that any of them that don't have yeah, I assume that any of the ones that don't have fully awakened ones, I should just, yeah. Okay, that works better now. I gotta remember which one that is too, just to make sure. Wheel. I need to make sure I hit the wheel at least a couple more times for ones. You'll always be hitting the wheel. Alright, it's a good thing you were really close by. Oh, I could have just teleported to Santa Fe, technically. That would have been really funny. Alright. Alright, let's see what you got for us, Berta. Where the wind don't blow so strange. Yep.
Anyone ask you to join the communists?
No, but with your talking about worker stuff, it makes sense that you might have been involved with that. So it's like she has a dust storm. She controls a dust storm and there's a pitchfork. That's a really cool image.
A few folks out here have been telling me I should, but I'm not much for joining things.
I'd be very careful about joining them in 30s and 40s America. And then later on, too, the Red Scare hurt a lot of people.
Still, we've gotten to a time where you can't just tell poor folks to move along.
Don't worry, FDR is coming along for you soon.
Nowhere to move along to. I've had a hard...
Any hopeful stories? Oh, she already knows the story of the spiritualist. Damn it. I'll tell you the story of the witch who drinks the blood of travelers in New Orleans.
You can't spook me like that anymore. Fortune. I've stopped worrying about my fortune. I've been ill, and I've been well. I've worked hard. I've lost my family and been left behind by my husband. And it doesn't matter to me what it sends anymore.
Aw.
Anyway.
Want to get hopeful stories? Well, I'm going to double check through here. Okay, so let's do this one too, since you already knows the story of the Witch of the Bayou. So let's do Sharp-Eyed Jack. Please don't be a hopeful one.
Are you trying to spook the end? This is it. The only thing west from here is ocean. And I haven't had much success growing gills. Been so long since I last chuckled.
The laughing story. Double checking. Make sure all the ones. Just making sure. She wants a laugh, but instead I'm going to give her the dust monster that sucks the moisture out of living things.
Oh, come on. That didn't really happen.
Honest to God.
Country. Every part of this country is the same in the way that counts. Oklahoma and California couldn't look more different. Plenty grows in California. There's more oranges and peaches than I ever thought could be in one place. But when you leave the bad soil and the bad weather, one thing's the same from Oklahoma to Bakersfield, and that's the owners.
Mm-hmm. Usually it is pretty rough being not wealthy.
Anyway, know any good
Hopeful stories. I'm gonna tell you the story of the siren who trapped artists in a dying town, backwater town.
Huh. In the future, I'm hoping we'll rise up. Enough of us will get angry at how we're treated that we'll say no more. I don't know if it'll ever happen. But oh, I think of it all the time. I've had a hard day. Do you know any hopeful stories to cheer me up?
Maybe, but I'm gonna tell you a story of love. The cart horse that would go around the world 3 times in the blink of an eye.
If you're trying to make me laugh, it's not working, you know. Love? No. Peace and quiet, that's what I look forward to. That stillness. When there's no one telling me to do anything. Sun's rising. More work today. More pressure building out here on the fields. I'm working up this way next. There'll be workers out there who haven't yet heard the kind of stuff we talked about.
Wow, you just keep moving further northeast.
Because of that, for the first time, I'm excited to see the next field.
How many fields are there in Denver? No, it doesn't matter anyway. Let's see. The Denver. Gets me kind of close, I'm hoping. Yes, it does. There you are. Oh, it's nice that you're actually going to each of the major cities now. All true. The story about the living dust storm that devours whole towns. It's the story of the dust monster that sucks the moisture out of living things. Alright, Berta. Got some more to chat about? I'm sure you do. Where the wind don't blow so strange.
Been a while since we last met, hasn't it? It's good to see you. Still fighting, still living. Since we last met, I've kept following the strikes. I've been hearing news about the unions. Makes me feel bigger than myself, like God never did. Anyway, know any good hopeful stories to share?
I do. I'm going to tell you a funny story, though. I'm going to tell you about the army major whose luck in the Great War came from his family's blessed whiskey. His whiskey.
Are you trying to make me laugh? I don't see how that one's supposed to be funny. Authority, bosses. Well, not everyone in charge is the police or the taxman. There's a camp at Weed Patch the government put up, with hot bath water and a place to clean your clothes. But there's plenty that don't want that camp to exist. And they'd pull it down if they could. I've had a
Hopeful stories. I'll tell you the story of the astronomer. No. The cursed violin. The astronomer seems a little too hopeful.
Did you get that tearjerker out of a magazine? There isn't much point in looking back all the time. My husband did, and it sapped his will to go forward.
Yeah, you can't keep looking at the past. You gotta think towards the future.
I've had a hard day. Do you know what?
Hopeful stories to cheer you up. I'll tell you the story of the changeling child who haunted the tired and sick.
Huh. My family. Well, maybe the girls will grow up to wonder where I am, if they live long enough. But they won't find me. I'm out of family. There's no one here to save me scraps but me. Anyway, know any good hopeful stories to share? I could sure use one.
How about the Sinner's Church, where in group worship of Satan, the congregation sings dirty songs during the service.
If you're trying to make me laugh at the joy, the hope of punishing those that made things so hard, that's what makes me smile now. When I hear there's a law coming, or a union forming, or a strike forming up, thinking it might happen is better than anything. Anyway, I'm looking for a good laugh. Do you know any funny stories?
Gonna tell you a sad story about a farmer who drowned his son in a grain silo.
My grief. The day after my girls left, and I couldn't leave my tent. There was a woman next door that lost her baby. We don't even get to be alone with grief. It's around everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And there's enough of us that have nothing left but the will to live. A change will come. A change has to come. I don't know if it'll be communists or unions or someone getting religion in a tent. But you can't stamp out the will to live completely. Thanks for talking with me. Not too many have time to listen these days.
Oh, are we already finished? We're already finished? Wow. I need to... Maybe I should just focus on trying to get the stories as, like... Huh, interesting. Didn't think it was going to be that easy. A peach pit carved into the rough shape of a flower. Back to LA. All that's left are Shaw and Althea. Wow, I'm getting really close to the end of this game. Get 2 of these done. Then we'll head up towards where those 2 are. Maybe we'll be able to finish the game soon. Want to hear a good story? Stumbles quickly through the tale, The Vampire Woman of New Orleans. Yep, I figured she'd turn into a vampire. It's just randomly weird that she stole my blood. Almost there. Is there anything over here? Oh, no, actually. I guess I got them all. Alright. Get the next one in. To the arsonist who burns down gambling dens all over the country. Living Dust Storm for spectral riders who hunt the ghosts of wild buffalo. There we go. So I have a potential of 6 more times. So let's go up to whoever is first. At 1. Easier to go. Let's see if we can get up Route 40. Let's see if we can go up Route 41. Wait, no, that's... Wait, that's not a road, I don't think. I don't think that's a road that... I don't think that's a road that exists, actually. Yeah, it's not. Why does it say there's a road there if there's not a road there? Right? Why is there saying there's a road there? There's... Okay, it does actually say where the roads are, but... Okay. Is there any of them that... Is there any of these that actually take me closer to... Boston? No, Portland. Richmond, Virginia. Fuck it. Let's just keep walking this way. I'll grab one of them along the way, I know that for sure. I'm gonna talk to Shaw, voiced by Lee Everett from The Walking Dead Telltale game. One of the best characters in video games. He's just really good. Really weird having him whistle the tune while she's playing it. Because I think that's supposed to be Althea singing Soul Sucker Blues. Because it follows what I'm thinking is her selling her soul to the devil later in her story. The devil who's in like 5 of my stories separately. So I've met him too. Which is always funny, which I think is kind of funny. Jaws was down in the valley of the shadow of death.
We are both still walking, I see. Still looking for the place we fit. Still suspecting it might not exist. Well, sit yourself down and we'll swap tales of the trip. But anyway, now I feel like hearing a hopeful story. Got any of those?
Possibly. The story... I think for you, I'll give you the story of the spectral riders who hunt the ghosts of Buffalo.
That's a tall one. Must be nice to have a home. Place to call your own. Under crop lean, I didn't really own shit, if you excuse my language. You buy things to pay off at the end of the season. Soon you realize even your own bed ain't a guarantee.
Oh yeah, they had to rent out a lot of their equipment because all they were given by the government after the Civil War was 40 acres and a mule to be sharecroppers. But they had to rent out the equipment, and then that ended up being that all of the former slave owners ended up just being the tenants for their stuff, and it was basically the same situation. Then like 15 years, antebellum social hierarchies had already reestablished. Kind of a shit show.
You got any good happy stories?
Happy stories. Maybe. Do you consider the rich kid who hired 100 poor workers to dance at a show for him happy?
Well, if you say so, but I don't get it. I felt lucky before. When I joined the union, it seemed like I was riding on the backs of angels. Like it was a real opportunity. Like God was on my side. So, tell me a sad story. Sad and true, okay?
I can do a sad story. The con man, his plot, his ghost, and his lover.
I guess we all got
Damn it.
as far as love stories. I mostly love work. Working the land felt natural. Felt good. It was the work itself, the labor, the sweat. And knowing that I could point at it and say, that's mine. But anyway, you know any good true tragedies? I feel like one of those tonight.
Let's try to give him a true tragedy then. Well, I'll do him on the last one. I'm going to tell him about Pecos Bill. That could be a tragedy too, though.
Huh. You sure that really happened? No one would say my father was free. Sometimes I think about whether my father would find my life all that different from his. You got any
I do have exciting stories. I should have saved the Pecos Bill for that one. I'll tell you about the pilot whose airplane could fly as well in the water as in the air. Damn it.
wishes come true? My father was born a slave, died free. I was born free, and as a young man, I still felt like I was dying a slave. Here's the sun. I got to get going. My route goes up this way, but I sure did enjoy talking to you. It's probably the kind of story you've heard a million times. Down on your luck, need work, take whatever you can get. How about you? Does my life sound familiar?
Yep. All right. Jaws, Life and Times. Now let's see. Oops. Let's get some stories replaced. Therefore, so cow landlords who evicted their house, blah 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 tenants. The plot for the event. Ooh, no, let's go with Trickster God. No, the man who joined a wild turkey flock to be with his turkey lover. You, I will switch out. Well, I need to make sure. Where's the? Is there a person to switch out stories for? I'm the boys. Is at the Chattanooga Choo Choo. Might be one on the other side of the river, so let's go over there real quick. Oh, hey, it's Althea, right there. I'm gonna just avoid you for right now, Althea. Focusing on Shaw right now. I think once I get, like, to a certain point in some of their stories, I think at that point I'm just gonna try to fully awaken them. The main actual characters, not the actual stories, not the stories I tell the guys, but the actual people I'm telling the stories to, I should say. Let's see. The story of the spirit of the buffalo, which must run each year to protect its kind from extinction. Alright. That was under this one. So switch you out for the town where monsters live among humans. And then for you, I gave the arsonist? Who was the arsonist? Well, anyway, I'll put the unstoppable Bronco on you. Then, whoops. Then what else did I have? I told the story of... Switch that one out. Switch that one out. Pecos Bill I did, so let's switch you to... Let's do the Bakht Shoggoth. That's always a fun one. Changeling Tired. The Bayou. Kabad. Army Major. Astronomer. That's all of them. Alright. Alright, Shaw, what you got for me next? Let's see what you got. Old iron shackles and a ball and chain.
I suppose most expect a Negro to end up in prison.
Okay, that's a start.
Yeah, there's two kinds in my estimation. There's a prison with bars, where they lock you up after they decided you've done a crime. And there's also the prison without bars.
The social prison that keeps you trapped in like your station. The know your place mindset that a lot of like white people in the South had at the time and still kind of do, even if a lot of them won't admit to it.
That's everywhere else, if you look hard enough. But anyway, you know any good true tragedies? I feel like one of those tonight.
True tragedies. A ghost who punished spiritualists for their hubris. I don't know if that's tragedy. Please be horror, not tragedy.
Come on, you can't shock me.
Okay.
Fortune. Well, prison was maybe the only time I felt like I knew what was going on. They make sure you know what's up and down in there. Strange blessing. But tell me, what's the wildest thing you've seen out there so far?
The wildest thing. Well, let's check first to make sure I don't have multiple ones. Okay, that one he said. Let's do the Devil's Killing Smile.
Huh. Trying to scare me. Ain't working. Choice. Maybe we should have listened back in Eden. Maybe choice itself is our biggest sin. You know any good jokes? Funny tales?
Funny tales. Maybe. Let's see. He wants funny. Just double checking before I say anything. Okay, so next off, instead I'm going to tell you the story of the town where monsters live among humans. Please don't be funny. Damn it.
Look at me. You got me laughing.
Damn it, I got him all the way to that stage, so he's going to wake up at the end of this one. I don't have a home.
Realizing that you have nothing and belong nowhere feels both like death and freedom at the same time. So, tell me a sad story. Sad and true, okay?
Sad story? Well, shit, at this point, I might as well tell him a sad story if I can find it. But at this point, I fucked up and his chapter 2 is going through already. Ain't Wonderland pulling lost souls to be saved. I don't know. Doesn't sound sad to me, but...
Well, I wish the world were like that, but it ain't. My face. Well, there come a time you ask the Lord for so much, you just stop asking altogether. So,
A sad story. Sadness. The farmer who drowned his son in the grain silo.
body and soul. I felt some strange sadness, yes. When you get a glimpse of real freedom after being away from it for so long, you forget what it was. That can break you. Here's the sun. I got to go. My road takes me up this way, but if we meet again, I'll be glad to talk. What is a man owed in this life, do you think? I never think I ask or want for much. Just food, shelter, fair pay for honest work. Is it selfish? I truly have to wonder. Is it selfish to feel like you're owed anything at all? Even that.
It can be. The world doesn't necessarily owe you anything, but like it can be frustrating to work hard and not feel like you're getting anywhere.
Tell me, brother, what was it that you wanted? What did life bring you instead?
A lot. Alright, so we cross the river. He's not that much further up. Alright. Let's see. The story of the Rockefeller child who hires hundreds of poor folk to dance for his amusement. It's the bones from your experience of the rich kid who hired 100 poor workers to dance a show for him. Then we move further up. We're almost done with Shaw already. Kind of sad about that. Going through the last little stretch of this game pretty quick. Alright, get the story from Indianapolis. The story about the vengeful ghost who kills anyone who summons it. It's the story of the ghosts who punish spiritualists for their hubris. Yep, sounds about right. Are there any stories? Buffalo Bronco, I think he already knew. So we'll put the boy trapped passersby with riddles just in case. Keep those other ones just in case. Everything else should be fine, yeah. Alright, Shaw, Chapter 3. Chapter 3, Promised Land Calling. Oh, what's he look like?
When they let me out, I needed work. Weren't too particular to staying in Alabama after I seen the way those men's eyes went looking at me. My son was headed up to Chicago, and I wrote him a letter.
Oh, is that why you're heading up towards Chicago then? Also, he is a four-winged angelic bird stork thing with all the tarot cards around him. That's not what I expected him to be, although I should have, because I've seen gifs of him and he grows feathers, but that's not the image I thought would come from Shaw. I wasn't actually sure, though.
He made it sound like a paradise. Money falling out of your ears up north. Money spilling out of your pockets. White men who actually met your gaze and said hello, he told me. And at that, I laughed.
Yeah, the great diaspora, as a lot of African Americans migrated north looking for work in less racist situations. I mean, the North was still racist, and it still is. Like, a lot of America is still really racist, but it was much less so than the South.
As I made my way to Chicago, I felt a bit like Moses, if I'm honest. I felt as if the country was splitting to make a path for me. Path to a new life. You got any good, happy stories? Where things work out for someone, maybe?
I mean, possibly. But first, the boy who trapped passersby with riddles.
That's a tall one.
I don't believe in no luck, not fate. Not anymore. That's a lie people tell you to keep you from getting angry. Apparently he just didn't voice those lines.
But anyway, now I feel like hearing a hopeful story. Got any of those?
The N and now is capitalized for some reason. I'll tell you about the French spy seeking delivery of coded messages.
Well, if you say so. But I don't get it. My place? My father was born here, and I was born here. But but everywhere I go, I hear the same thing. Move along. A Negro is a human animal denied a country, a home. We have to make it for ourselves. Or maybe just stand up and take what we've been owed. But tell me, what's the wildest thing you've seen out there so far?
Wildest thing. Oh, there's a lot of things that could probably classify as that. I'm gonna tell you about the infamous gender outlaw who flouted rules, broke hearts, and changed the world. They were pretty chill.
Well, I wish the world were like that, but it ain't. My future? After I decided to leave Chicago, I don't know. I knew I'd be walking forever. That was the only thing keeping me from laying down to die. You got any good happy stories? Where things work out for someone, maybe?
Possibly. I'll tell you about the man who joined a wild turkey flock to be with the turkey love.
I guess we all got a different sense of humor. Love is one of those fussy woman's things. I'm not supposed to have it, so I don't. But anyway, you know any good true tragedies?
Tragedies. No tragedies, but I'll tell you about the box shagas.
I guess we all got a different sense of humor. They say we all free now. I don't know about that. Sun's almost here, so I gotta get going soon. You do too, right?
Yep.
I hope we get a chance to meet again.
Hope so
If you
too.
head up the road this way, well, I won't be settling down anywhere. If you're watching the road, you'll find me eventually.
Oh, good to know you're not going to be too far away.
I can't stop now. Don't have anything left to stop for.
Oh, good thing I found it then. Over here, evolve that story. Like a Pokemon. Sister-in-law, a story about the Creole witch asking passersby to deliver her curses. This is the story of the French spy delivery of coded messages. Oh, it went from French to Creole. That's kind of funny. And right by Cincinnati. Cincinnati. Oops. Going. For that, though, let's see if there's any... Go over to this little township over here and see if there's anything that I can... Oh, there's a dialogue thing right here. Yay. Let's see. The boy who riddled travelers and fed failures to a monster. Confusing himself every once in a while. Yep, sounds about right. Alright, Shaw, reveal to me your secrets. Promised Land, Colin.
Good to see you, stranger. It's been a little while. How's your journey been treating you? How are your feet holding up? I've been walking since I left Chicago. I feel like if I quit now, I'll lay down and die. You got any good happy stories? Where things work out for someone, maybe?
Happy stories. Happy stories. I'll tell you about Jaddy Joe, the protector of the railroad.
Good to hear a story that's more happy than the world really is. Nice to escape. I've been traveling a while now. They don't tell you what happens to your feet after walking. They don't tell you how they start to look, feel, smell. Like lumps of meat and leather, all tangled up. But anyway, you, know any good true tragedies? I feel like one of those tonight.
One of those tonight, you say. I'll tell you about the story of the man who killed travelers and... Oh, actually, no, the John Henry. That's a good one.
I hear you. Bondage. We still living in it. They ain't never gonna let you have nothing. Not really have anything at all. We don't get to whip anymore, no. But a boot on our backs as they climb all over us? As they've always done. But tell me, what's the wildest thing you've...
The wildest thing. How about the witch in the bayou who transforms men into alligators for a song?
Come on, you can't shock me. Change. When you get to my age, you start to understand that Nothing stays the same, not one thing. The only constant thing is change. You know any good jokes? Funny tales?
I might. Might, but I want to actually instead ask you about the circus composed entirely of former Wall Street brokers. Actually, I think that is. Oh, wait, I already did this one.
Well, love is I'm not. But
Damn,
anyway,
I wasted one of them. Oh well. What do you want? Hopeful story. I'll give you a meadow of infinite butterflies, every color of the rainbow. There we go.
that was a good one. Wish I could have your stories around when I'm in a dark place, you know? My joy? That's simple. Sometimes all it takes is the promise of something new, something different, to make a smile split your face. And that's how I got here. Still wandering, still looking. Maybe somewhere out there's a promised land. But I ain't seen it. Have you? It's nice to sit and talk a while on occasion. But the way you're looking, it tells me you got somewhere to be.
I do. I gotta look for the place where the water tastes like wine, like your promised land. And I'm never gonna find it, because nowhere idyllic like that exists.
Why don't you go on then? And if you end up in that promised land, then send for me after.
Promise. Shaw's story complete. Alright, so... get you all out. Bring... Unstoppable Bronco. Arsonist. So, 3 chances to get all 3 of those done. Fisherman. And we'll go with going through all these. Pond where swimmers are caught by land walking fish. That one's kind of a horror story in my opinion, but the rest I can just figure out as I go. So all that's left now is Althea. But what did Shaw give me? Single long white heron's tail feather with a black tip. Gotcha.